hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup. Now we have got some breaking news. If you decide to trust the legend that is my friend Grizz King Khan, according to his reports, he suggests Thuram is a Liverpool player. In alternative reports, you have got them saying that Thuram is the leading target for Liverpool at the moment. What does this mean? This means that we are definitely in on Thuram right now. Now, is the deal done? It could be, and we don't know. It might not be, and we still don't know. But one thing that we know is discussions are on at the moment, because I really believe that all the reports that I've seen do indicate that this is something that Liverpool are directly interested in. Not to mention the things that Konate has said about Thuram. I don't really feel why he would be so open to be wanting his mate to come to his team if it weren't likely. Now, obviously, Trent has spoken in the past on Bellingham. Henderson has spoken in the past on Bellingham. But they never spoke with any sort of certainty that he was going to join. It was just kind of like, yeah, it'd be nice if he joined the club. Very hypothetical. Whereas when Konate was asked about Thuram, it was kind of like it already happened or is happening. And now that Grizz Khan has came out and said that the deal's done, I think you guys can look forward to a little bit of news in the next couple of days, because I've heard a couple of other people suggest that if it's not done, then it's days away. And when you culminate the Thuram news with the fact that the club have came out and said we want this many midfielders and the centre back, and then they've came out, multiple players, Virgil van Dijk, Salah, Konate, most recently, coming out and saying, yeah, we need to buy 3 or 4 options. That isn't just the individuals coming out saying we need players. That is the club collectively letting you know on a PR basis that we need players and we are going to get players. And if we don't, you can now actually hold us. You can now hold it against us because we came out and said it. Jurgen said it. The players have said it. Therefore, the club has said it. The players would not say such thing. Konate would not say such thing specifically about Thuram, if in so much detail, if the move weren't likely to happen. Now, it doesn't mean it's done. You've always got the Nabil Fekir situation. What is today's news might not be next week's news. You know, you could have the Liverpool shirt in hand until those medicals are fully complete. You should never rely on any journalist saying that the deal is done unless they are in the medical rooms themselves. That being said, based on everything else that finishes a transfer, paperwork and stuff like that, it's all looking good, people. And that does mean that we very may well have a new young centre midfielder, hungry centre midfielder in the heart of our midfield in the name of Thuram. And I want to ask and present the question, what do you think? Is this a guy who brings us back to that title picture? Because he seems to be one of our main acquisitions. When you consider McAllister's one, Thuram's another, and apparently we want one more midfielder after them. Is that going to be another first team midfielder? And if it's not, then that obviously means Thuram is coming in to have a significant role early on. I think everybody and their nan is now noticing that Jordan Henderson, for the best part of 2.5 years, has not really been adding enough to the team. On top of this, you'll look at the rest of the midfield situation. Thiago, Fabinho, I don't need to go through it. I don't need to patronise you. We need reinforcements. But then you're thinking, if we're going to get these, because if Thiago is fit every week, you'd like to think we'd be closer to those title pictures, but he's not. So then you've got to get a replacement. Is McAllister and is Thuram the guys to replace Thiago? Maybe in the long term, possibly. But what about the short term? And if they are not, what are we to expect next season? Because Thuram's 22, or very young at least, and then McAllister, he's 24. I expect him to have a little bit more of an impact start than Thuram. But both very different players and both have things that they can offer. McAllister kind of the more attacking role. Thuram does the number 8 role very well. And I would expect Thuram to come in and immediately replace Jordan Henderson. And I would expect McAllister to come in and immediately replace Thiago, because that position is just there for free anyway. So I'm simply asking the question, are you confident in the midfield trio of either McAllister, Thuram and Fabinho, or McAllister, Thuram and whoever else we buy if it's a number 6? Even if it was Bajcetic, I don't know, you might rate Bajcetic. For me, I'm waiting a little bit longer to come to a determination on whether or not I want Bajcetic as the regular player for Liverpool. So this video isn't me confirming that the transfer is done. This video is simply me speculating about what happens when and if this transfer gets completed. And the only reason why I'm saying hypothetically about this transfer and not Kylian Mbappe is because it's a 0% chance for Kylian Mbappe. This is a very high chance when you consider the talks. the negotiations going on between the player, and of course the club doesn't seem to have a problem with the price, especially when you see the reported price of 35 to 40 million, because if we had a problem with a price of 35 to 40 million for any top player in the top 5 leagues, then yeah, you're in the wrong sport, mate. You need to go to a different league. Maybe FSG need to invest in Football League 2, where, you know, it's okay to still spend money that you could have spent in the early 90s, but guess what, we're in a different world. And 35 to 40 million, yes, at one point it was a rip-off for Andy Carroll. Now for a McAllister, it's looked at as pennies. Now for a Thuram, it is the bare minimum of what you're going to get in the top 5 leagues if you want a somewhat established midfielder. And I still question that Thuram isn't fully established. I'd still also suggest that McAllister could maybe do with a bit more time. McAllister's more established, but still, to say he's certified, you need to wait. And that's not me being negative. I'm just simply saying, can we already jump to the conclusion off those 2 transfers that we are automatically back in the title race? I'm only trying to be honest. And if not, then is top 4 a realistic ambition for us next season? If so, then let's go and achieve that. Maybe try and win a trophy along the way. But the only time we'll know this answer is after we've seen McAllister play a couple of games and Thuram play a couple of games. And I'll be honest with you, I can't wait to see what he can do. Because from what I've seen, McAllister at Brighton always played well against us and also against other teams. Thuram, who I've seen less of, from what I've seen, looks like a good player. But I do also know that anybody can look good if you get, you know, the best of the best clips of anybody. If you get the best of the best clips of me, you know, telling my funniest jokes, everyone's going to think I'm hilarious. If you get the worst clips of the unfunniest jokes, you're going to think this guy can never be a comedian in his life, and why is he even a YouTuber? So the same applies to these players. Yes, they can be this, but we still need to see it. It still needs to be applied. It still needs to be proven. Once it's proven, then we can sit there and say, oh, wow, Jurgen Klopp masterclass, and FSG knew something I didn't know all along. Because here's the thing, if we go back and win a league title, for instance, I think winning 2 league titles in the space of what, if we won a league title next year, that'd be 2 in 4 years, or would it be 2 in 4 years or 2 in 5? I believe it's 2 in 4. Either one of those. To win 2 out of, let's say it was 5, 2 out of 5 Premier Leagues, you know, from our first Premier League to now, and you're competing against Manchester City, I think that's good, because they're a club with stronger resources. To beat that club at any point would be amazing. To compete with that club is amazing. I know how impressive it is to take them all the way to the last day, because guess what? Arsenal couldn't do it. So they understand now the impossibility of how hard it is to take them to the last day. And they won't, and I've said this about Arsenal before, they won't grow to the team that we was. They might grow to a good team. They might be able to get another season of 89, 90 points. But the conclusion of, oh, we've got a young squad, therefore we're going to get 90 points one day, does not align at all. And it's the same way with these players. Like, oh, we won a Premier League and a Champions League, we're going to go and win so much more. And we only went on and added an FA Cup and a League Cup. So I'm simply suggesting 2 plus 2 isn't always the answer that you're looking for, if you're looking at it from a different context. And that's the premise of the video, is sort of asking those questions that, okay, it's good that we're getting these midfielders. Are they good enough midfielders? Are they good enough to take us to that adequate next level? If so, what is that next level? Is it back into top 4 or is it trophies? Anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Please do smash a like. Also, leave a cheeky subscribe if you haven't already. Only if you like the channel. If you don't like it, then smash a dislike. I strongly encourage you to smash a dislike. And also, do you know what? Go one further, help me out. If you don't like the video, let me know in the comments down below why you don't like the video. It's also helpful. Guys, much love to you and your mothers, and I will see you all later. Peace.